Welcome back to a Millennial Perspective. It's April 2026, and it feels like the world is holding its breath on a few different fronts. We've got rising global tensions that feel eerily familiar, a culture waiting on pins and needles for the biggest entertainment release in a decade, and a massive debate about our kids and their digital lives that's reaching a boiling point. Today, we're going to cut through the noise on three huge topics: the escalating situation with Iran, the seemingly endless wait for Grand Theft Auto 6, and the new wave of laws aiming to kick teenagers off social media. Three very different topics, but they all say something important about where we are right now. So grab your coffee and let's get into it. All right, let's start with the heaviest topic first: Iran. For the past few months, the headlines have been relentless. It's the constant drumbeat of will they or won't they? And by they, I mean both sides. Just this week, we've had President Trump float the idea of sending ground troops to seize Karg Island, Iran's main oil terminal. The administration is framing this as a decisive move to cut off the regiment's funding. On the surface, okay, that sounds like a clear strategic goal. But military analysts, and frankly, anyone with a memory of the last 25 years, are sounding the alarm. They're saying this isn't a surgical strike. It's a massive gamble that would put American lives at extreme risk with no guarantee of success. Are we really talking about putting boots on the ground over this? It feels like a massive escalation that hasn't been fully explained to the American people. What's more confusing is the messaging. One day the president says we're in secret negotiations with Iran, preliminarily speaker. The very next day, the same speaker comes out and publicly denies any talks are happening. So which is it? Are we talking, or are we threatening to invade? Because doing both at the same time isn't keeping them on their toes. It's just incoherent. It projects instability, not strength. As a modern conservative, I believe in a strong America on the world stage, but strength isn't just about having the biggest military. It's about having a clear, consistent, and achievable strategy. It's about knowing what the end goal is before you commit blood and treasure. Right now, I don't see that. I see a lot of conflicting statements and high stakes posturing. We all want to prevent a nuclear Iran. We all want stability in the Middle East. But are we choosing the smartest path to get there? Or are we being led down a path where the only outcome is conflict, without a clear picture of what victory even looks like? We've seen this movie before. And for our generation, the millennial generation, we're tired of seeing reruns. We were the kids and young adults who watched the Iraq and Afghanistan wars unfold. We saw the cost. And that's the real question I think we need to be asking our leaders. What is the long-term plan? What happens the day after a potential strike? Who is in charge? What does it cost? Not just in dollars, but in lives. These are not trivial questions. We need answers before we take one more step down this road. I'm not a pacifist, but I am deeply skeptical of foreign intervention without a crystal clear objective and an exit strategy. Right now, we have neither. Okay, let's shift gears from geopolitics to, well, a different kind of global obsession. Grand Theft Auto 6. So the big news that broke everyone's heart last month. Another delay. The release date has officially been pushed from May to November 19th, and the collective groan from the internet was deafening. Now it's easy to dismiss this as just a video game. Who cares, some might say, but I think that misses the point entirely. The anticipation around GTA 6 is one of the most fascinating cultural phenomena of our time. The last game, GTA 5, came out in 2013. Think about that. 2013. That's 13 years ago. A whole generation has practically grown up since the last installment. This isn't just about a game. It's about a shared cultural touchstone. For millennials, many of us grew up with the GTA series. It was controversial, it was groundbreaking, and it was a huge part of our youth. Now we're in our 30s and 40s, and we're waiting for this next chapter alongside a whole new generation of gamers. The scale of it is just mind-boggling. GTA 6 is projected to be the single most expensive and profitable entertainment product in human history. Go figure. Not just of video games, of anything. More than Avatar, more than Avengers Endgame. The budget is rumored to be over $1 billion. So when it gets delayed, it's not just gamers who are disappointed. It's a massive economic event. It affects the stock price of its parent company, Take-Two Interactive. It impacts the sales forecasts for PlayStation and Xbox. It's a huge deal. But what I find most interesting is what this says about our culture. We live in such a fractured media landscape. Nobody watches the same shows anymore. We don't all listen to the same music. But a handful of the things still have the power to create a global monoculture, even at just for a moment. A new GTA is one of them. It represents a level of quality and ambition that's rare. In an age of quick, disposable content, and while the delays are frustrating, most people seem to understand it. They'd rather wait for a polished, incredible experience that can get a broken product on time than get a broken product on time. It's a lesson that a lot of other industries could learn from. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. A commitment to quality over speed. It's the ultimate long-term investment, and the payoff will be astronomical. So we wait. We'll watch the trailers 100 more times. We'll analyze every screenshot. And on November 19th, the world will collectively call in sick to work to dive back into the world of Vice City. All right, for our last topic this weekend, let's talk a little bit about something that hits close to home for anyone with kids or anyone who just remembers being a kid. The global push to restrict social media access for minors. We're seeing a wave of legislation sweep across not just the United States, but Europe and other parts of the world. The general idea is to either ban kids under a certain age, say 16 maybe, from using social media altogether, or to require explicit parental consent through age verification systems. And I have to say, my perspective on this is complicated. On one hand, as a parent and just as an observer of society, my gut reaction is, yeah, finally, we all know the data. We've seen the studies linking excessive social media use in teens to anxiety, depression, body image issues, and cyberbullying. It's a mental health crisis, and these platforms are the epicenter. The algorithms are designed to be addictive, and a 14-year-old's developing brain is no match for a billion-dollar tech company's engagement team. So the desire to protect kids is absolutely valid. It comes from a good place. But, and this is a big but, the conservative and libertarian in me gets very nervous when the government steps in to become the national nanny. First, there's the issue of parental rights. Shouldn't it be up to the individual parents to decide what their child is ready for? My style of parenting might be different from my neighbors. A one-size-fits-all government mandate strips parents of that discretion. It assumes that a bureaucrat in Washington knows what's best for my child better than I do. That's a line I'm very uncomfortable crossing. Secondly, there are practical and privacy concerns. How do you enforce this? Through digital IDs? By forcing kids to upload their passports or driver's license to TikTok? The potential for data breaches and privacy violations is enormous. We'd be creating massive databases of children's personal information and handing them over to the very tech companies we claim not to trust. The cure could be worse than the disease. Thirdly, there's a free speech component. At what age does a person have the right to access information and express themselves online? Is it 16? 18? Who decides? While we want to protect kids from harmful content, we could also be cutting them off from valuable communities, educational resources, and the ability to learn how to navigate the digital world while they're still under their parents' roof. Shielding them completely until they're 18 might just leave them unprepared for the reality of the world when they get to college. I don't think the answer is to do nothing, but I believe the solution lies more with empowering parents and holding companies accountable, not with blanket government bans. We need tools for better parental controls. We need real transparency from these tech companies about their algorithms, and we need to be teaching digital literacy in schools from a young age. This is quite complex, and a simple ban is a clumsy solution that could have a lot of unintended consequences. We need a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. So that's where we are in April 2026. We're facing complex foreign policy decisions that demand a clear strategy, not just tough talk. We're participating in a massive shared cultural event showing that we still crave ambitious, high-quality entertainment, and we're grappling with one of the biggest questions of modern parenting: how to protect our kids in a digital world without sacrificing our rights and their future readiness. These are definitely not easy issues, and there are no simple answers, but it's our job to stay informed, ask the tough questions, and not be afraid to say, I don't know, or this is complicated. That's what this channel is all about. So I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this situation with Iran? Are you counting down the days to GTA 6 comes out? And where do you fall in the social media age ban debate? Let me know in the comments below. I read as many as I can, and I look forward to reading them every day. If you found this conversation valuable, please give this video a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss our next discussion. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Stay thoughtful, and I'll see you next time. Getting ready.